हेलो दोस्त, गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। आज मैं बहुत दिनों के बाद लेक्चर तैयार किया। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि this COVID-19 pandemic has been disturbing to all of us. And I stay here from holy period at my home, so that I have not any much resource for prepare the lectures. That's why I did not upload it any videos. So now I tried to upload video, and I decided to upload video based on the metal complexes and its electronic properties. So if you are new in my channels, so please subscribe and I like the channels, and comment below so that I can see your comment. Whatever you want, I can go through that. So now I will start my lectures. So basically the metal complexes, I will discuss about electronic structures and properties. Electronic structures means orientation of the orbitals and degeneracy of the orbitals, and how the ligand field splicing energy calculate, and this lecture will make little bit longer because I added 11 slides. So I am thinking to give detailed information about it. So now we start. So if we see in this page first, how the orientation of 5d orbitals with respect to ligands and how they degenerate into Eg and T2g orbitals. So if you see below, this is the T2g orbitals and this is the Eg orbitals. Under Eg orbitals, the Tz square orbitals and d square y square orbitals, and T2g orbitals dxz, dyz and dxy. So here if you see how in the presence of octahedral crystal field, the d orbital is split into the lower energy triple generate T2G and higher energy WT generate EG orbital, which is separated by delta zero. Delta zero is basically the energy gap between the EG and T2G orbitals. So this ligand field splitting parameter increase with respect to chemical series of ligands, and also varies the identity and charge of the metal ions. So this is the d orbitals, 5d orbitals, and this is split into 2G and T2G orbitals for octahedral crystal fields. And if you see this points, how the chemical series, spectrochemical series arranged in increasing order of ligand strength. Here if you see, CO is stronger ligand and Cn minus is lower stronger ligand than CO, and most lower strong field ligand I minus. In between there are many ligands which are orderly present and has important different has also different roles in different complexes. So ligand fields strength as I told you depends on the central metal ions. Here if you see the increase the metal ions cations size, increase the metal ions cation size, the delta zero value is also the increase. As you know, if we see in earlier slides, this is delta zero gap. If the cations of central metals ion is size increase, the delta value is also increase. Here, 0.2, this delta zero value is less than of P, which is for weak field case, and lower the energy which is achieved by the most occupied orbital in the higher energy state, which is configuration like this, T3 and even G. And for strong field ligands, delta zero is higher than P. As you know, if you see here chemical series, this is for strong field ligand. If any strong field ligand attached with complex, then delta zero value will high, because if you see this formula, This formula is indicate the delta zero values. So net stabilization energy. If most of electron goes in case of strong field in T2G orbitals, then this values becomes high. That's why the delta values become high rather than pairing energy. So here are some calculated LFSC value of different configuration of metal ions. So mostly I focus here D4, D5, D6, D7 electrons. So this is the for high spin electrons. For D4 is 4 and LFSC is minus 0.6, and for low spin numbers of electrons is 2, and this is LFSC. Pairing of electron is 1 due to the presence of strong field ligands. And in case of D5, the pairing of electron is 2, and in case of D6, pairing electrons of 2 in the presence of a strong field ligand. So in case of D7, the pair for electron is 1. So like that. And these things is you can calculate LFSC for strong field ligand, and this is for weak field ligand. So next, this is the problem, solved problem. You can understand. And after understanding this problem, you can solve this problem yourself also. So then you can understand easily how to calculate LFSC. Now I will discuss about tetrahedral complex. Earlier I was discussing about octahedral complexes. So in tetrahedral complexes, basically only the energy alignment is opposite. Here if you see, each E energy stage is lower, and T2G, T2 energy state is higher for case of tetrahedral crystal fields ligands. And one more thing is here only consider the high spin case. So this is very important formula for ligand field splitting parameters in tetrahedral complexes. Here delta T is denoted as tetrahedral complexes, which is less than of delta 0. So delta T is approximately 4/9 delta T 0. So now I will discuss here also how the d orbitals changes from T2G to G orbital. So lower energy is E and higher energy is T2 orbital for case of tetrahedral complexes. and like that here calculated for the only the weak field agents because this is for the sorry for high spin cases. High spin cases means weak field agent, right? So here only the case for high spin weak field agent, here LFSC is calculated. And if you see here LFSC, here in case of weak field agent, no needs of pair of electron, no additional terms here comes of pair of electron, because here's only the high spin electron filling is happened. So hopefully you understand clearly. Now we will discuss magnetic measurements. So magnetic measurement is basically the used to determine the numbers of electrons unpaired spin in the complex and identify the ground state configuration. And spin only calculated may be fail for low spin D5 and high spin D6 and D7 complexes. So this is the magnetic moment for spin only, and this is for the unpaired electrons, maybe is over magneton. So this is very important slide. Here I will discuss about John-Taylor distortion, John-Taylor effects. It is basically happened in tetragonal distortion complexes. So what is John-Taylor effect? It is basically when the ground electronic configuration of complex orbital is degenerate, the complex is distorted so as to remove this degeneracy to achieve lower energy state. So here basically the distortion can remove by achieve the lower energy. So point number 1, tetragonal distorted complexes where two effluents are moved away from the central metal ion. Here if you see light pink colors, this indicates ligands move towards central metal ion, not towards away from central metal ions. And point B, if you see ligands move towards central metal ions. Why these things is happen? This is because of due to these 2 points. Here 6.43, the effect of tetragonal distortion like compression of x and y and elongation along z direction. The energies of d orbitals, the orbital occupies is d9 complexes. So this is things which happen only for d9 complexes. And this tetragonal distortion for regular octahedron correspond to elongation on z-axis and compression on xy axis. And this is due to the lower the energy of Eg orbitals and increase the energy of Eg of dx square and y square orbital. You can see easily in next slides. Here if you see Here in case of this here, this distortion has removed because last electron goes to x square and y square, which is earlier lower energy state, and sorry, last electron goes tz square orbitally, which was the higher energy state, and after this decreasing this energy state, the John-Taylor distortion is become lower energy state. So basically the stabilize the complex is the known as John-Taylor distortion effects. So here if you see in this node points, basically where we have seen that this effect, in which case, so if one or three electrons occupy easy orbitals as high spin d4 and low spin d7 and d9 complexes, tetragonal distortion may be energetically advantageous for these cases. John-Taylor effect identify an unstable geometry, a nonlinear complex with orbital degenerating ground state. So this instability we can remove by decreasing the energy states of dz square orbitals. So instead of point 3, instead of axial elongation and equatorial compression, the degeneracy can be removed by axial compression and equatorial elongation. So other way we can also remove the degeneracy of these metal complexes. However, because axial elongation weakens of two bonds, but equatorial elongation weakens in four bonds. Therefore, the axial elongation is more favorable than more common than axial compression. Point 4. John-Taylor effect is possible for other electronic configuration of octahedral complexes like D1, D2 and low spin D4, D5 and high spin D6, D7 configuration. We can also find this effect for this configuration, and for tetrahedral complexes D1, D4, D5, sorry 4, 6, 8, 9 configuration. So if this type of configuration is coming in your complex, then you can adjust the John-Taylor effects. So now we will discuss about pi bonding. So pi donor ligands decrease delta zero value, because pi donor means having ligands having occupied orbitals, so that the energy become lower. If you see in spectrochemical series, large conjugations of effect of pi bonding. So if you see these points, the pi donor ligands is ligands such as this chloride, bromide and hydroxyl O2 minus and when water molecule also. And this is basically I mentioned about the pi donor. Pi donor means full pi orbital, which is normally which will not normally be higher than the sigma donor orbitals. If you see the in case of metals, sigma donor, the energy is higher than that of these pi donors ligands. Energy is lower and combining form the sigma pi metals complexes. If you see here, bonding, sigma pi bonding is happening. So in case of pi acceptor ligands, ligand that has empty pi orbital, as we know, are available for occupation. I mean strong field ligands. So Lewis acid based terminology we can call pi acceptor ligand or pi acids. So pi acceptor orbitals are vacant anti-bonding orbitals on the ligands, usually the LUMO, like as carbon monoxide and 2, which are higher in the energy than the metal orbitals. So this is the order, increasing delta zero value for pi acceptor, strong field ligand, and most lower the pi donor. We can represent ligands class. This is for pi donor. Pi donor class is iodine minus, bromine minus, chlorine, fluorine. A weak donor pi donor is water molecule, and no pi FF means neutral ammonia, and pi strong pi effector PR3 carbon. If you see here the pi acceptor having the empty pi orbitals having the higher energy than the of this metal and easier metal ions. You can easily see here the energy gap of this delta zero is also become high. If you see compress here, so that you can easily differentiate the roles of pi acceptor and pi donor ligands. So now I will discuss about little bit electronic spectra of atoms. This is absorption spectra. So how this spectra has come? So this is basically the this is basically the electronic repulsion, which often of multiple absorption in electronic spectrum. So this is electronic spectrum for D3 complexes like the chromium, ammonium 6 3 plus aqueous solution. The band at lowest energy means highest wavelength air. If you see, it's a very peak band, very weak band, very weak peak. If you see later, this is spin-forward transition, and spin-forward transition means you can say triplet to singlet transition. This is come due to the triplet to singlet transition. and these two peaks is spin allowed transition between T to G to EG orbitals of complexes, which are mainly derived from the metal d orbitals. So third peak is this is intense peak charge transfer band at short wavelength. If you see around 250 or 230 nanometers, this is due to the charge transfer. Only the lower energy. So this is all about the d metal complexes, electronics and structural properties. So hopefully you guys understood what I teach you in these lectures. So thank you, bye bye, and again, if you are new in channel, so please like and subscribe the channel so I can try more and more and next time. Thank you.